So in the case of a relationship breakdown, the most common financial fallout would be possibly a reduction in standard of living. And that usually occurs when the family relies heavily on just one income without little buffer room. In that situation, when the family splits into two households, costs will inevitably increase. Another point to consider would be a loss in spousal or partner benefits, and that would normally include medical insurance, travel allowance, housing allowance. For women in particular, if she has sacrificed her career to look after the family, then she would find herself in a situation where she needs to re-enter the workforce. She would then be bearing the responsibility of both looking after the children and having to work at the same time.
For the financial stronger party, you can consider entering into agreements with your spouse or your partner regarding how assets are to be divided between you guys once you guys separate. You can enter into agreements pre-marriage, post-marriage, or even post-separation. So for prenuptial and post-nuptial agreements, unfortunately, they are not recognized in Hong Kong to be legally binding. However, they are still be considered by courts as factors in determining how the assets are to be divided in divorce proceedings. For post-separation agreements, they are recognized to be legally binding in Hong Kong, and therefore parties are advised to enter into these agreements. Once you guys enter into this agreement, they're considered to be valid contract in Hong Kong.
If you're the financially weaker party, then I would advise you to retain some control over your own assets. Have some financial independence. For instance, have your own bank account. Be financially curious. You need to know what your partner or spouse has. Lastly, you should be aware of how much you spend every month so that you know what your needs are. Don't be blindsided by how much things cost.